Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Minnesota.
Expectations, frequently hand in hand with anticipation, where hype often outweighs the performance. But what happens when it doesn't? What happens when expectation, anticipation, and hype are all superseded by the performance? You just might have that today, where expectations become reality.
My main goal is definitely making it to the big leagues this year. I'm going to work hard and compete and play the game one pitch at a time and just do what I can to try to get myself out there.
Almost from the day he was drafted in 2012, Twins fans have waited for the arrival of Byron Buxton. You think you've had a busy Sunday morning? He woke up at 5:30 in Birmingham, Alabama, came here to Arlington, Texas, found his major league uniform hanging in his locker, went out to the field to take some fly balls and some ground balls, some fungos, then had to meet with the media, of course, and in just a few minutes he's going to make his major league debut. By some accounts, the top prospect in all of baseball has arrived to hopefully give his major league team a bit of a spark. And we welcome you to Arlington, Texas. Dick Bramer, Bert Blyleven, and people have been waiting for this for a long time. A lot of hype surrounding Byron Buxton. And now today, finally, we get to see the real deal.
Yeah, this young 21-year-old going to be excited today. Hopefully every at-bat he'll carry into his future. But the number 2 pick overall in the 2012 draft, he had some injuries last year that kind of cut him short a little bit. But this year started off slowly in Double-A, but he has turned it up as of late, and that's why he's here.
And Jamie Hirsch cornered him in the dugout a few moments ago.
Well, Byron, first of all, congratulations. What a big day for you. How would you describe what you're feeling sitting in this dugout knowing your major league debut is just a few minutes away?
Just anxious. I'm really just ready to get out there and play ball. Like I said earlier, I think the more I sit around, the more nervous and jittery I get.
I know that you want to just take care of business and stay in the moment, but have you taken any time yet, or will you take any time to really just appreciate the moment and what this means?
I think after everything's settled down and after the game, I'll settle down a little bit and take this moment in.
How have your new teammates, the Twins players up here, welcomed you in just the few hours that you've been at the park?
Great. I mean, know everybody here and just glad I'm up here with these guys and hopefully come up here and try to help us win games.
And today he will take center stage. He is in center field and batting ninth for the Minnesota Twins as they hope to end a 5-game losing streak. The Byron Buxton era is about to begin.
It don't really matter where you rank, that you still got to come out and perform. You can't take it for granted. You got to come out and play hard every day and compete. It don't matter if you ain't helping your team, trying to help them win, and that's all I'm here trying to do.
young man. There's not going to be anything this guy's not going to be able to do.
He gets your attention quickly. He got that kind of speed.
I just haven't seen a lot of players that gifted.
Buxton again. This one, he dives and makes the catch.
He can do so many things. Very strong young man.
Byron Buxton, a tape measure blast to left field.
He's the real deal.
The wait is over.
His time has come.
And I think you can't help but feel a little guilty being so excited over someone who's never played up here. But then you hear the plaudits of people who have been around this young man, the Molitors, the Kellys, the Minkiewiczes, people like that. And maybe you need to hear that to understand and grasp the hype and the promise that this young man has.
Yeah, Doug Minkiewicz, you know, the manager of the AA ball club in Chattanooga. And then, of course, you know, Buxton having the opportunity to be in spring training, get some at-bats against some major league pitching. So, yeah, he's very excited to be here. He's going to be very nervous, but that's the way it is when you're trying to make your major league debut.
And here is the Menards batting order, and has Buxton batting ninth. So we'll do the batting order in reverse.
Hope he hits in the first inning.
Buxton ninth, Escobar eighth, Robinson seventh, Suzuki sixth, Nunez fifth, Luke fourth, Mauer third, Rosario second, Dozier first. I don't think I've ever read a batting order that way before.
All right, let's reverse it against Nick Martinez. Martinez, just 24 years old, drafted by the Rangers in the 18th round out of Fordham University in New York. For Martinez, he's making his 13th start in his first season as an everyday starter. So, and he's responded very nicely. 5-2, very good earned run average. Making his second career start against the Twins.
Northland Ford defense for the Texas Rangers. Delino to Shields in left field. Leonis Martin in center. Shin Soo Choo in right. The Rangers version of Byron Buxton. Joey Gallo at third. Hit a long home run yesterday. Andres and Alberto up the middle. Moreland at first. And Chirinos back behind the plate. David Rackley calling balls and strikes. You see the rest of the umpiring crew. Understandable that Buxton would hit ninth today, but Paul Molitor suggested again this morning he's not going to be too anxious to disrupt things at the top of the order, right, the way Dozier's been scoring runs. And he takes outside, ball one.
Yeah, Brian scored 50 runs already this year, only one behind Josh Donaldson for the American League lead, and a lot of those extra base hits. He has 34 total. So he's done a good job in that leadoff spot. Now, Twins faced Martinez last year in Minnesota back on May 29th. Of course, these clubs don't see each other, but, you know, twice a year, once here, once in Minnesota. He received a no decision in a Rangers 5-4 win. He did give up a home run to Josh Willingham, a 2-run home run.
All the numbers are good. Doesn't give up many home runs. Doesn't walk many people. He's had one really bad start. That was 2 starts ago against the White Sox. 2-1 to Dozier. A high fly to deep left center field. Going back is Martin, and that ball is gone. A 2-1 pitch hammered to left center. Dozier's 13th of the year.
And the third time this season that Brian Dozier has led off with a home run for the Twins. So just like that, the Twins take an early 1-0 lead, and Martinez gives up just his 6th home run. And his 3rd to a right-handed hitter.
Brian hit a lot of home runs on pitches are up. That one looked like it was down around the knees and out over the plate. And the Twins jump out in front 1-0 into the Twins bullpen. Here's Rosario. Swing and a foul. So much focus on the starting center fielder. And it's worth a mention that this guy's having a very solid rookie season himself, Eddie Rosario.
Yeah, with Torrey Hunter serving his 2nd day of the 2-game suspension, it's Rosario who hit in this hole in yesterday's ball game. Responded with a 2-run double in the 3-run 3rd inning for the Twins. 1 for 4 with a walk in yesterday's ball game.
Down and in, 2-1. Rosario at 287, 3rd on the rookie batting average list.
And what Martinez features is a fastball in the low 90s, good curveball, and a changeup.
A one hopper to the second baseman Alberto. One away. And that'll bring up Joe Mauer.
Well, the starting staff for the Rangers has been lights out over their last 9 games. All of them quality starts. That means 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less. Even in yesterday's ball game, Kobe Lewis gave up 3 runs in the 3rd inning, but then he retired the last 15 straight. Ended up going 7 innings, and then the rain came.
In the 15-team American League standings, the Rangers would sit a half game behind the Twins. There's a strike called on the outside corner. And as the Twins enter this game with their longest losing streak of 5, they still have just 2 teams in the American League with a better record than they do. 1-1.
That's why May was so important when they went 20-7 in the month of May. You're going to hit these little skids that you're going to lose some games in a row. It's a matter of stopping that skid, and hopefully this afternoon between Phil Hughes and the offense, they can do that against the Rangers.
Bounder up the middle. Andrus scoops it up. 2 down. And that'll bring up Plouffe. Twins start the day 2 games behind the Royals. Game and a half ahead of the Tigers.
The third baseman, number 24, Trevor Plouffe.
After the game, the Twins go to St. Louis. They'll play 4 straight against the Cardinals, 2 in St. Louis, and then 2 in Minnesota. And Plouffe takes strike 1.
Trevor Plouffe remembers last year when he faced Martinez. 2 hits in 3 at-bats. Drove in a run.
Fouled back, 2 strikes.
My fastball right there. Trevor fouling it straight back.
Fouled away.
Martinez made it through the minor league system pretty quickly for the Texas Rangers. Last year came up. He made 24 starts and 29 appearances overall. 5-12 with a 4.55 ERA. Kind of got his feet wet, but it's off to a very good start this year.
High and tight.
He's a young man out of Fordham University basically was a second baseman in his college career and then turned pitcher. Did some pitching at college, but mainly in the infield.
Fordham University, I believe the school that produced the Fordham Flash, Frankie Frisch, a Hall of Famer. And I also believe that's the college Vin Scully went to. And to the backstop. Now it's a full count to Plouffe. If he reaches, Nunez would have a chance.
Trevor second on the club with 9 home runs.
This one lifted foul over the Texas dugout.
Martinez making just his 37th major league start, his 42nd appearance. He's averaged about 3.5 walks per 9, just over 5 strikeouts per 9 innings in his young career.
Another foul by Plouffe. Trevor's had a difficult June. He's had a number of at-bats like this where he's fouled off a lot of 2-strike pitches, but he hasn't had the payoff at the end.
Just unable to square it up solidly.
Usually the longer the at-bat goes, seems like the hitter has the advantage.
Oh, yes.
And another dribbler foul.
I know, if you end up throwing 7-8 pitches to a batter, there's going to be 1 or 2 that maybe you got away with, but the more you throw, the more comfortable that hitter is on the stuff that you have. And Martinez has thrown Trevor Plouffe all 3 of his pitches. What's he going to do here?
Another foul.
Make that pitch count, get up there. 10 pitches so far in this at bat. 21 pitches for Martinez in the first.
And that's a heck of a walk taken by Trevor Plouffe.
That's a good at-bat right there. He tried to change up 3-2 because he was fouling off the fastball and the curveball. And it ends up walking Plouffe.
Eduardo Nunez will bat. Nunez started a 9th inning rally by nearly hitting a home run. And it was the subject of some debate and review in the Twins clubhouse today. What happened on this ball? Why'd the ball bounce back? Jeff Bannister wanted to find out. I think we concluded in the clubhouse it was not a home run. It wasn't called a home run. It was a double. But Jeff Bannister went out to right field to find out why the ball bounced the way that it bounced for future reference, because the game was kind of a blowout game. It really didn't matter that much. But what they found is that there's padding out there, obviously, and the padding is attached to wooden posts. And the ball cleared the padding but hit the top of the wooden post. There's a ball hit to left field and out of the reach of DeShields. Plouffe rounding second. On his way to third, he'll score, and a conventional double for Nunez, and a far more important double early in the ball game here today.
Well, it looked like a breaking ball that left up, and Nunez hitting it past the diving DeShields in left field. For a second there, I thought he was going to make a great catch. He was sprawled out, and the ball just out of his reach got by him. And it's off to the races. Of course, Trevor off with a crack of the bat. And DeShields just comes up a bit short. The ball rolling all the way to the warning track. And for Nunez, his 5th RBI on his 7th double.
And a first inning trip to the mound by Mike Maddox.
So a good start here this afternoon for the Twins.
Twins lost 11-7 and had a nice 9th inning to make the game a little closer. Suzuki, the batter.
You know what, Dick, and sometimes that rally they had, even though they were down 11-3 going into the 9th, sometimes carries into the next day. And Twins ended up getting 5 hits in that inning, scored 4 runs.
It's 7 doubles yesterday, and now a home run and a double in the first inning today.
Suzuki trying to end a little 0-for-17 slump that he is in.
Popped up and into the seats, 1 strike.
He had such a good year last year, hit .288 in 131 ball games, drove in 61 runs. And we thought, in Boston, when he got 5 hits in a couple ball games, there he goes, he's going to get going, but no hits in his last 17 at bats. See if he can drive in a run and get off that skid.
Swing and miss. And the inning ends. Brian Dozier with a leadoff home run. The Twins added another run, and it's a quick start here in Arlington. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Ram. Come discover great deals during the Ram Drive and Discover event. Bannister's had the Rangers playing pretty good baseball. They, like the Twins, got off to a poor start. And Bannister, like Paul Molitor, never managed in the major leagues before. Bannister, a longtime minor league manager. And he sends out this Menards batting order for Texas. Delino to Shield, Shin-Soo Choo, Prince Fielder, Mitch Moreland's been swinging a red-hot bat. Then Joey Gallo, Elvis Andrus, Leonis Martin, Robinson Chirinos, and then Hanser Alberto.
And it'll be Phil Hughes on the mound. Already has thrown a pitch.
Strike one.
Yep. And that's nothing new for Phil Hughes, making his 13th start of the year, his 8th career start against the Texas Rangers. And organization he will never forget, because he got his first major league win here in Texas back in 2007 when he was with the Yankees. Defeated the Rangers that day 10-1 over Cameron Lowe as a starter.
Up high 2-1.
You always remember your first major league win. And for hitters, their first major league at bat or their first day in the big leagues, like Buxton will here this afternoon.
Back to Hughes. First. I remember my first major league win as a broadcaster. I think it came in the 3rd week of the season.
Very nice.
Twins were very good back then. Northland Ford defense for the Twins.
Was I on that team?
Not yet.
Okay.
Buxton in center, flanked by Robinson and Rosario, Floof, Escobar, Dozier, Mauer, Suzuki behind the plate. One down in the first, and that'll bring up Shin-Soo Choo. Had a good day at the plate yesterday. This is
we just showed Buxton right there. He's really going to be looking a lot in the dugout, and I'm sure Butch Davis, the outfield coach, will be moving him left and right. He'll have to be communicating with Robinson and also Rosario out in the outfield about where to play. Are we pulling, playing this guy into right center, left center? Right now, shading Choo a little bit to left center, but pretty much straight up.
1-1 to Choo. This is a big outfield here. Buxton's looking over his left shoulder, and there's a sign there that says 407. Looks over his right shoulder, and the sign says 390. If you like to cover ground in center field, as Buxton does, this is a fun place to make your debut. And now fly ball to left field. Robinson, the left fielder, with the catch out number 2. To make room for Byron Buxton, the Twins put Aaron Hicks on the disabled list. Hicks went through a pretty rigorous workout today that included swinging the bat, throwing the baseball, and the Twins ultimately decided that they wanted to shut Aaron down for a while and make sure that whatever it is, and they don't know right now, but whatever it is, it quiets down and nothing serious happens.
Yeah, he had played in every game, all 28 ball games since he was called up in May.
One and 0 to Prince Fielder.
Fielder hitting at .347. That's best in the American League. 10 home runs, 43 runs batted in. Ahead of Miguel Cabrera.
Down and in. 3-0.
Only 1 for 9 lifetime against Phil Hughes.
Hughes with 8 walks this year, only 16 walks all last year. And he walked Fielder on 4 pitches. And then he'll bring up Mitch Moreland. Moreland with the biggest swing of the bat yesterday in terms of run production with 2 men on. He did this.
Yeah, against Mike Pelfrey, the Rangers kind of opened up the ballgame with a big 6-run inning, highlighted by Mitch Moreland's 3-run home run, his 8th of the year. And then Joey Gallo off of J.R. Graham followed with a solo home run. First time the Twins have given up back-to-back home runs on the season was yesterday.
Moreland 2 for 8 against Hughes. Infield shift on for the Twins. Big swing and a foul. Talking with Jeff Bannister the other day, and we were talking about the league and all 3 divisions where there seem to be some good teams, no great teams, but within that the notion that there's very little margin for error for any of these teams. In yesterday's game, Twins had a chance to get an inning-ending double play, and there wasn't an error on the play, but Mike Pelfrey didn't catch the return throw at first, and before you knew it, the Rangers had 6 runs on the board. Fouled away into the seats, 2 strikes. And I think that's true. I mean, you look at all the teams, and as well as the Astros were playing, now they're struggling. Twins are struggling.
Yeah, Kansas City's been struggling a little bit.
You know, you don't
keeping the Twins where they're at.
No team is good enough where they can win by giving up extra outs, committing errors, issuing a lot of walks. 2 strikes to Moreland. Popped up. And Suzuki got a late look at it, but it's over the screen anyway. Now, Twins are going to go from here to St. Louis. Cardinals might have that margin for error. That's how good they are, playing .661 baseball. But in the West, the Astros have come back down to earth. The Rangers have caught fire and suddenly are within striking distance. He's trying to put a lid on the bottom of the first on his 16th pitch. Oh, just off the outside corner.
Well, you keep throwing it there, Phil Hughes. Hopefully you'll eventually get the call.
Where was that?
David Rackley behind the plate. Looked like a pretty good pitch from here,
outside.
but outside says Fox Tracks. I never liked Fox Tracks.
I always trust Fox Tracks.
I always trusted my catcher's glove. If he's sitting on the corner and he doesn't move his glove, it's right there. Come on, get the game moving.
1-2. And a bouncer foul. Maybe you didn't have very good catchers.
Well, I had excellent catchers.
But if they're setting the glove up outside and you hit the glove and it's not called a strike.
Well, I meant outside of the plate. You know what I mean? Off the plate. Just a hair. Just maybe an inch or 2.
Yeah, but
that's all. That's all you want.
That's not in the strike zone.
Yeah, you'll get it if you keep hitting that spot. You'll get it. Ask Greg Maddux.
Another 1-2 pitch to Moreland. And a bouncer to second. Chest high hop for Dozier. That cleans up the bottom of the first. Byron Buxton is going to hit in this inning. You might want to DVR it, TiVo it, or go ahead and hit the record button on the VCR if you got one of those.
Around the world of baseball with Byron Buxton making his major league debut, but it's an interesting dynamic inside the Twins clubhouse with the team mired in a 5-game losing streak, and all of his attention suddenly on the 21-year-old who has yet to have his first major league at bat. I talked to some of the leaders about this dynamic, and Glenn Perkins said that we are focused on winning a baseball game first, but there is a lot of excitement for this guy, and he believes that Buxton will indeed help the team continue to keep winning. Kurt Suzuki joked that he's our savior, but in all seriousness, he said that he's going to be a guy that is going to help this team. He's not going to single-handedly put this team at 30 games over 500, Kurt said, but we will win as a team, and he can help us do that. He also said that Mark Ellis once told him to do one thing every day to help the team be better. He said you don't have to go do too much, you don't have to get 4 hits in this game, but he's going to share that advice with Buxton if he hasn't done so already, and help him calm down, remember what he's here to do.
Thank you, Jamie. Here's the ball grounded left side, picked up by Gallo. And they set some fires, and now they come to the plate. Paul Molitor said of Buxton that the word in the organization is, particularly at AA this year, Doug Minkiewicz said he was doing something, either at the plate, on the bases, in the field, something to make his team better every game.
Yeah, you don't always have to go 4 for 4. You can win defensively. You can do it by smart base running. Those are his numbers in AA Chattanooga. 7 doubles, 13 triples, along with the 6 home runs.
And he takes strike 1. 101 games left, counting today, and Buxton is here, and the Twins are hopeful that while Hicks is on the disabled list, Buxton will convince them that he belongs up here and will stay here. 0-2.
A lot of nerves. You know, this is a nervous at bat for Buxton right here. Just want to make good contact.
0-2. If the projections are right, he might have 10,000 of these. So you try to tell yourself, I suppose, look, this is just one at bat in a larger picture. But
it's a one you'll remember though forever.
Swing and a miss, and Buxton strikes out. And his first big league at
send them down.
2-0 Twins as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Rangers, according to his manager Jeff Bannister, because he one of the top prospects in all of baseball as well.
Both Buxton and Gallo signing out of high school. For Gallo, he's 21, like Buxton, 39th pick overall in the 2012 draft out of Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas, Nevada. And he's already hit 3 home runs, and he hit a blast yesterday. What they marked it, 461,
I believe. 4th longest home run in this ballpark, and they played here now for 21 years.
It'll be interesting today, because I even watching Gallo yesterday and also a couple days ago about where you want to pitch him, and he looks like he's a very good low ball hitter. And Phil Hughes, you know, a lot of times his pitches are up in the zone, and he missed with a breaking ball right there.
2-0 to Gallo. High fly, deep right center field. And Buxton watches it lead. Hughes fell behind, and Gallo made him pay the price.
And that's one thing that has hurt Phil Hughes this year. Last year only gave up a total of 16 home runs. That's the 14th home run that Phil Hughes has allowed. Gallo, this is his 11th major league game already with his 4th home run.
A 2-1 ball game.
Well, he fell behind. He came in with a fastball about belt high, and Gallo found that channel that we always see here out in right center. And that ball just took off.
I'm so sure that wouldn't have been ball 3. That was a fastball up and away, maybe out of the strike zone, and now Hughes misses again inside. 22 pitches, only 10 strikes for Hughes, and one of those was clobbered over the fence.
I think what I have seen from Phil Hughes this year that was so good for him last year and not so good this year is that little cutter. It used to break about 5 or 6 inches, and this year it's just kind of rolling at times. And the control, they're trying to mix in more breaking balls, more off-speed pitches, but even though he's walked only 8 batters to control, he's falling into counts like this, falling behind on the hitters.
There's a strike. Mike Pelfrey said after the fact yesterday, he came out on the mound, he really didn't feel like he had anything going for him out there, and now Hughes struggling with his control, and that's usually the one thing you can count on with Hughes. 3-1. Chop to third. Bluth has it. 1 down. Time now for our T-Mobile Game Changer, and today it's the players who've already made an impact from the first round of the 2012 Major League Draft. Carlos Correa has gotten off to a good start. The Astros started him on the road like the Twins did. Buxton making his debut today. Michael Wacha pitching like an 8-year veteran already.
We'll see Michael Wacha tomorrow. He'll be starting game 1 in St. Louis.
Trevor May will go for the Twins. Strike 1 to Leonis Martin. Rangers playing now without 2 anchors in the middle of their rotation. Josh Hamilton. There's a high drive to right center field. Buxton will chase this one and run out of room. Tie game.
Even though the wind blows in from right field, it kind of hits the stands and blows back out toward the Rangers bullpen. And we've seen it over the years here now for 20 years here at this stadium. If you can hit that channel right toward that bullpen, that ball just seems to continue to carry. And this is a fly ball, a little bit off the end of the bat, but it got up high. And then I think with the help of the little breeze that kind of goes back around, helped this ball go out of the ballpark.
414 feet on the second home run. The first one went 415. The same general area of the ballpark, and the game is tied now. Chirino's batting. Bluth has that ball skip past him. And the Rangers are making very solid contact against Hughes here in the second inning.
Yesterday, Dick, we talked about the grass here. Even though it looks green from here, plush, it's still very quick. It's almost like turf. And Chirillos, who picked up 2 hits yesterday, driving his ball hard past Trevor Plouffe to his left.
Hughes being hit hard here with the fastball. We'll see if he can back off and throw some slower pitches, breaking pitches, maybe a changeup to get the Rangers out of rhythm here. Here is Alberto, the second baseman. Strike call. Josh Hamilton and Adrian Beltre both out for another couple of weeks. Hamilton with a hamstring injury, Beltre with a left thumb injury. 1 strike to the number 9 batter. And now 1-1.
You know, I'm not going to defend Phil Hughes because he did give up a couple home runs, but I pitched a couple years here in Texas for the Rangers, and I'll tell you what, even though it's 86 degrees, it's hot down on that field. It might be up in the 90s on that field. And it takes a couple innings to kind of get going here in Texas.
Foul back.
You lose a lot of body fluids as far as water, and you sweat a lot the first 2 or 3 innings, but the breeze as the game goes on, if you can get into the 3rd inning, you feel refreshed a little bit, if that makes sense. It kind of drains you right off the get-go.
1-2 to Alberto. Bouncer toward the hole and through. The ground ball. It could have been, had it been hit at somebody, a double play, but it's not. 4th hit of the inning. I was interested to echo your thoughts. I was interested to read Colby Lewis's comments after the game yesterday, saying he wanted to get out there, throw strikes, get his team off the field, and maybe take advantage of the other pitcher who isn't accustomed to coming out here and dealing with the heat and humidity. Well, the Rangers have already tied it. The bottom of the order, rolling it over. 2 men on base now for Delino DeShields. Hit a 1-hopper back to Hughes in the 1st inning.
Yeah, why the big hole between Plouffe and Escobar on that ground ball to short? Because Escobar was shading him a little bit up the middle, and that created that base hit to left field by Alberto. Now, Phil Hughes does not get a lot of double plays turned behind him. So hopefully he can get one here. Only 4 double plays turned behind Phil in his first 12 starts. More of a fly ball pitcher.
As was the case yesterday with Pelfrey on the mound. Not a lot of swings and misses.
Well, Phil last year had such a great year, and the word got out, hey, he's going to attack the strike zone. He's going to throw you a fastball, so be ready for the fastball. What he needs to do, if the cutter's not working, he needs to get the breaking ball over. You can see he doesn't have control of that fastball so far. Falling behind on a very good hitting ball club right now. They've been swinging the bat over the last 3 ball games. Prior to that, their offense was struggling.
2-1 now to DeShields. Time called. Well, Hughes has a good curveball, right? But even if you don't have a good one, you do need to show it, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. You know, with a curveball, you can soften it up, or you can make it harder. It almost becomes 2 pitches. You have a 4-seam fastball, you have a 2-seam fastball. You can also do that with a curveball. Kind of a weak swing right there by DeShields. DeShields, a Rule 5 pickup from the Houston Astro organization. Doing a good job in his rookie season. Last year, basically in Double-A for the Astros.
2-2, and Hughes could use that strikeout right here. There it is. Looking. 2 down.
Now, that looked like from here that little cutter that DeShields maybe gave up on. So a big strikeout for Phil Hughes with a couple of runners on. Now there's 2 outs. Yeah, just that little cutter on the inside corner. And that's the pitch that Phil Hughes last year, he controlled so well.
That's the front door cutter. He also used the back door cutter to left-handed batters like Chu. Chu with a fly to left his first time up. Fouled away into the seats.
You know, if I'm Phil Hughes, I mean, the offense, whoever you're facing, they know you're going to attack the strike zone. So what you can do is go off the plate a little bit and let them swing at maybe a pitch out of the strike zone. But Phil has been up and he's been down. He hasn't really missed east to west as much as he has north to south.
I just have not seen the slower breaking ball at all. If he's thrown one, I've missed it.
Yeah, he's thrown a couple, but they have been high in the zone.
Rangers were struggling to score runs when the Twins came to town, but they got 11 runs yesterday, threatening to put together a big inning here in the 2nd today. To right field. And a line drive caught by Rosario. A couple of home runs to tie it up. 2 men left aboard. We head to the 3rd.
go get the ball in the outfield. Good throwing arm, strong. Power, very strong young man. Wiry frame that's just going to get a little stronger as he goes.
He's electric. He does some things that a lot of people can't, and home to third, there's nobody faster. He's turned into a kind of a leader for us, and that's a good thing to see in the process of him becoming a major leaguer.
It's tough enough coming up here for your first time. In his case, probably more than most people with expectations. And I didn't want to burden him with the responsibility of trying to hit leadoff right out of the chute. That's probably the other option that people might want to have the manager consider. But I think it's the right thing to try to protect him a little bit, at least offensively, to get started.
Yeah, I agree with Paul right there. Put him in that lower spot of the lineup and let him relax a little bit and hopefully have some fun.
And that's why Brian Dozier is in the leadoff spot again today, and that's why Dozier hit a leadoff home run.
Yeah, third time this year Brian has led off the ball game with a home run, 10th time in his career.
Swing and a foul. It was 2.5 years ago, 2.5 seasons ago. Take a look at Dozier home run to left center.
They got a fastball, got it up right into the Twins bullpen.
Dozier dropping a bunt down foul, and it's 2-2. 2.5 seasons ago, at the start of the 2013 season, Aaron Hicks made the jump from Double-A, put into the leadoff spot, and ran into the teeth of the Detroit starting rotation. Verlander and Scherzer got off to a bad start, and never, at least that season, recovered from that. And so the Twins don't want to have a repeat of that. Just on the basis, we were talking before the game, just on the basis of the fact that Byron Buxton is one of the best players in the Twins organization. On that basis alone, he should be up here.
Yeah.
The Twins want their best players up here, and he is clearly one of the best players in the organization.
Yeah, a lot of baseball experts say that he's going to be a guy like Andrew McCutchen one day.
Dozier with a foul pop, caught by Chirinos, one away.
That's what they compare him to, so that you hope that he turns out to be that way. But the Twins, not only Aaron Hicks and Buxton, #1 picks. There's 5 more on the 25-man roster, actually 6, with that have gone through the same situation that these guys have. Of course, Torrey Hunter, when he first came up with the Twins. You have Joe Mauer, Trevor Plouffe, Glenn Perkins, Kyle Gibson.
Rosario takes a strike.
All #1 picks that come up, and they've had success up here. It's not easy. There's a lot of them that are #1s that never make it to the big leagues. Then there are 51st, 52nd round players like Denny Hawking. That was the last pick of the draft when he was drafted. And he made it to the big league, so you don't know.
Picked in a round in the draft that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
1-2 to Rosario. He made the jump this year from Triple-A. Hit a home run on the first pitch he saw as a big leaguer, and now it's 2-2. Twins hope to be in contention all year long, but it's pretty clear as we get into the middle part of the month of June here that this is also potentially a year of transition. Ooh, a breaking ball, and Rosario takes it looking.
Yeah, that throws him right there. Martinez picks up his 3rd strikeout.
2 down. You can join us June 19th, Fireworks Friday, as the Twins take on the Chicago Cubs. Presented by Gillette Children's Specialty Healthcare. The first 10,000 fans will receive a Paul Molitor bobblehead courtesy of select Heartland Chevy dealers. Go to twinsbaseball.com. Get your tickets today. Here's Joe Mauer, bouncer to short, his first time up. Now a liner to left, and Mauer jumping on the first pitch gets a 2-out single. And that'll bring up Trevor Plouffe.
Yeah, 3rd hit for the Twins.
Plouffe had a heck of a 2-out walk in the first, and significance of it dramatically increased when Nunez followed quickly with an RBI double. Twins had their second run, and we'll see whether that long duel with Martinez will lead to better things today, starting in this third inning at bat. Outside, ball one. Cleveland Indians called up their top prospect, Francisco Lindor, but they're not playing him today. He's not in the lineup. In fact, right now, no one's playing. The Tigers have a 2-0 lead after 4.5 innings in Detroit. 1-1 to Plouffe. In the dirt.
Pitch number 50 on the way for Martinez. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He's given up 3 hits. Home run, double, and a single.
Fouled back. 2-2. Twins scuffling generally, particularly in the offensive front. Just 3 wins and 9 losses in the month of June, after a 20-win month of May. On the outside corner, a couple of called third strikes, and we head to the bottom of the third, tied at 2.
Buxton's 18-month-old son, Brixton, who was just clapping and cheering for Daddy, and his fiance, Lindsay. How would you describe what it's like to watch your fiance out there after everything he's been through to be making his major league debut?
I would have to say it's absolutely amazing. After last year and the way that it, played out, we couldn't be any more blessed than to be right here, right now.
You guys have been waiting for this moment for a long time. We've got quite the cheerleader. He's a pretty big fan of Dad.
Oh, yes. He is Daddy's biggest fan, no doubt.
What was your reaction when he called you and told you the news yesterday? What did he say?
He told me, he was just talking, and he said, I'm actually packing my bags. And I said, you're packing your bags? Is everything okay? And he said, we're going to Minnesota. And I just absolutely, I didn't know what to say. I had no idea what to say. I said, that's absolutely amazing, baby. That's what we've waited for. We're so excited for you. We're so proud of you. And that's the number one thing. We are absolutely so proud of him because he has worked so hard to recover from last year. It's been a a long time coming, honestly.
And you've been there for most of the journey. Did you jump in the car and come here? Did you fly here?
Absolutely. He called me roughly around 4:30 yesterday, and we were headed to Atlanta last night around 10 o'clock to get on a flight this morning. So, yeah, we were ready. We were not going to miss it, most definitely.
I think he wants to say hello. Can you say Dada? Go Dad. We'll work on that. One last question. He seems like a real down-to-earth guy. He seems to be handling all the attention so well. How would you describe Byron off the field?
Byron off the field is he's actually pretty funny. He's very quiet to people that don't know him, but he's actually a very funny guy in his own way. We have a great time, and we cut up most of the time, and we cut up with bricks, actually, so we just make jokes, and a lot of it has to do with jokes about baseball, we just make the best of it.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to watching the game. Thank you for the time. Congrats on the special day for your family.
Thank you. We're so excited.
Boy, she got that southern draw, doesn't she? Baxley, Georgia. That's where Buxton went to high school. Appling County High School in Baxley, Georgia.
We saw Prince Fielder pop up to Eduardo Escobar, and now Mitch Moreland, the batter. And referenced in that interview was what happened last year, and most of 2014 is a year that Byron Buxton would prefer to forget. He hit just .240 in Fort Myers, was promoted to Double-A, and in his first game for the New Britain Rockcats, he ran into Mike Kwasnicka. Now, thankfully, Kwasnicka was okay, and Buxton ultimately was okay, but those who saw it said it was one of the most frightening collisions they'd ever seen on a baseball field.
Yeah, the wrist injuries, in Fort Myers, and then the concussion he got in Double-A.
Hit to the gap, it'll run to the wall. Buxton retrieves and fires in to Escobar. It's a one-out double for Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, Buxton touching the ball for the first time. The other chances went over his head. But Moreland, who has been swinging a good bat in this series, taking that pitch from Hughes the other way. It's a one-out double, his 13th double of the season. Yeah, not only, the wrist injuries, the concussion, also when he went to the Arizona Fall League, ended up dislocating his left middle finger in a dive.
Here's Joey Gallo, hit a home run to right center, his first time up. Hughes steps off. Suzuki will go to the mound. Gallo, a big guy. We've seen his power, and big for a third baseman. 6'5", 230. That's like Troy Gloss type size. Remember Troy Gloss, the Angel third baseman. Well, since we're talking about prospects and Chattanooga lookouts, Miguel Sano is the third baseman for Chattanooga, and if you've heard of Buxton, you've probably heard of Sano. Sano is 6'4" and 262. So he's an even bigger, broader version of what we're seeing from the left side of the plate from Joey Gallo. And like Gallo, has immense power. 1-0. Swing and a miss.
Yeah, when Sano comes up, I want to stand between Sano and Vargas. Boy, will I look skinny.
If Sano's at third and Vargas is at first, we'll know one thing: the infield won't be going anyplace.
Big slow curveball right there. Gallo getting a huge swing, and there you go. I like that. Fastball up and in. No intent behind it other than just trying to pitch him hard and in. Hitters today get offended by this.
Well, you said up and in, and it was up, but over the inside corner.
Right. Gallo right on top of the plate. You can see where he stands in the box. Another big uppercut swing. And that's where I think you have to pitch him. I think that's what Hughes is trying to do. Go elevate that fastball right about the Texas height of his jersey. Because we have seen the uppercut swing.
2-2. Breaking ball line to Dozier.
Oh, what a play.
And a double play. Oh, what a marvelous play by Brian Dozier. Timed his lead perfectly. And Escobar there to double off Moreland at second. Play, we're still tied at 2. That would have almost certainly scored a run.
Yeah, great play by Dozier. He got up as high as he could, right off the tip of his glove, able to get it, and then turn to double play.
Nunez takes down an in ball 1. Nunez doubled into the left field corner, driving in Trevor
Watch
Plouffe.
Dozier right there, leaping up high. That ball hitting the top of his glove right into the webbing, and then the double play, quick throw over to Escobar.
2-0 to Nunez. Nunez driving in Plouffe with a double, now leading off the 4th. And a liner to the glove of Moreland. That was headed to the right field corner, and Nunez hitting the ball very hard in this series, and an extra base hit taken away.
Yeah, you know what? The defense, Moreland, credit the defense for the Rangers. They were playing right there. Moreland didn't have to move because Nunez taking this pitch away the other way, and Moreland right there. Look how far he's off the line. So placed perfectly, but a nice catch by Moreland.
And now Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki struck out his first time up, and he checks swing, takes ball 1 there. We were talking about Suzuki's year last year, and it was an all-star year. It was also his best year in the big leagues, hitting .288. And even with that added in, here's a ball lifted to center, and retreating is Martin. That's number 2. And then Kurt Suzuki's in his major league career just a .257 hitter.
You see Bryant getting up high and then shoveling quickly a pass over to Escobar for the double play.
And now Shane Robinson will hit a fly ball to center his first time up. You know, one of the things that Dozier's established over the last couple of years, he is a baseball player. I mean, he can help your team win at the plate and in the field and on the bases. This one fouled near the Texas dugout and out of play.
Yeah, he's a player every manager wants, you know, and if you're a pitcher, you want him playing behind you because he gives it all every day.
Travel to Target Field in style aboard the Fox Sports North Fan Express bus. VIP experience free for fans who purchase the Fan Express ticket package for select Twins home games. Visit foxsportsnorth.com and click on the Fox Sports North Fan Express banner to ride. The more players you have on your roster who can help your team win at the plate and in the field, the better off your team's going to be, obviously. The ball hit to left center field. Martin chasing it, and he won't get there, and it'll go to the wall. Robinson can run. He will round second and go for third. He's got a triple. And the Twins have hit a couple of balls that have just eluded first the left fielder Shields in the first inning, and now the center fielder Martin.
Yeah, Martin had to go a long way for this ball. This ball just hit perfectly right in the gap. Martin ends up trying to dive for it, just comes up a bit short, but a fastball that was inside, and Robinson hitting it right in that gap. The Shields can't get it, and it gets past Martin. So a triple for Robinson, his first of the year, but it comes with 2 outs. So you need a big hit right here by Escobar.
Heard the phrase a seeing eye ground ball. That was a seeing eye fly ball hit in the right spot. And Robinson's at third with 2 down.
Yeah, Twins have hit for the cycle against Martinez.
Well, the good news is after the 7 doubles yesterday, 3 extra base hits again today, and maybe within that sign that some of the guys starting to swing the bat better. Here is Escobar. The Twins are still waiting for Escobar to find his groove at the plate. Hitting .257 from this side of the plate.
You know, never playing an everyday basis like Escobar did last year. He kind of knew he was a shortstop, came to the ballpark, you know, and knew that. Then, you know, Santana played center field. This year he's kind of moved around more in the outfield, shortstop. Could that have affected his offense so far? Don't know.
Robinson left at third. It's still 2-2. Century Link, your link to what's next. By NorthlandFord.com and your local Northland Ford dealer. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. Twins got the first 2 runs of the game. The Rangers tied it. Elvis Andrus will lead off the 4th.
Cotton candy.
Phil Hughes has found the barrel of a lot of Texas bats in this game, and now a bunt, and Hughes fields it on 1 hop. Andrus quickly retired on a poor bunt, 1 away. And that'll bring up Leonis Martin. You can fill out your 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot now at twinsbaseball.com. Voting is exclusively online, available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. You can vote up to 35 times at twinsbaseball.com.
Yeah, Martin hitting a home run in the 2nd inning, his 4th of the year. Martin, 27 years old, from Cuba. He was playing for the Cuban national team when they were in Japan and ended up defecting. The Cuban team went to Mexico and later came to the United States and then signed a 5-year contract with the Rangers back in 2011.
2-0. Hit to center, and Buxton goes back and makes the catch. 2 down.
You know, when we were in Japan for the World Baseball Classic a couple of years ago, we played Cuba. We beat them twice, but they stayed at the same hotel, and the security they had was unbelievable. I mean, they had a whole floor, and you could not get in the elevator and go to that floor. There was security in the elevator on that floor. Those players were well watched.
Well, hopefully that has changed now with the diplomatic softening between the 2 countries. Chirinos takes ball 1.
And by the way, that fly ball to Martin to Buxton was the first fly ball that he caught up here.
Okay. And a strike. A couple of weeks ago, I think it was when the White Sox were in town, and talking with Tony Oliva about Cuban hitters. And Tony knows a lot about Cuba and even more about hitting. And I asked him, I said, "You mean in Cuba?" He was talking about Abreu. I said, "In Cuba, hitters don't keep their hands inside the ball?" And Tony responded with a word in Spanish that I think sounds an awful lot like the word in English. I can't say it on TV. Bouncer to the left side. Plouffe has it.
Yeah, just see the ball hit the ball. I'll be gentle. And that's unlike me.
3 up, 3 down in the 4th. Byron Buxton will lead off the 5th when we come back.
About 5:30. Yeah, I got to the airport about 6:15, and flight went to 9:13. Just stayed there and tried to relax myself. Just enjoy the moment while I got the chance. Amazing. I mean, this is what you work so hard for in the minor leagues to get up here to, and just glad I'm able to be up here with great teammates and try to come up here and help us win. It was very unexpected. Caught me by surprise, and kind of a great gift or blessing that I'm just glad and happy to have the opportunity to come out here and play.
And he struck out in his first major league at bat on 4 pitches. He will lead off the 5th inning. And Buxton takes strike 1.
You know, after today's ball game, of course, we're going to jump on a plane and go to St. Louis, and you know that's also going to be an excitement for a young kid that you actually go on a charter flight.
Next swing. Did
he
go?
A lot of times, AA, they'll go to they'll take a bus, or if they do catch a flight somewhere, it'll be with other people. But here, a charter flight, and they'll serve him food, whatever he wants.
Fagan called it a swing. It's 0-2. Backhanded by Gallo, and he throws him out. That ball was smashed on one hop to the third baseman, and Buxton still made it a close play.
He can fly down that line. He can fly down that line. Gallo getting this little short hop. We'll take a look at Buxton's speed down that line.
So 1 down here in the 5th. Back to the top of the order, and Brian Dozier. Unfortunately, Byron's father Felton and his mother Carrie are not here. They had another family obligation, so they couldn't make it here today, but they plan on coming to Minnesota to see his Target Field debut. 1-0 to Dozier. Homer to start the ball game, then fouled out in the 3rd. And Gallo can't get that one. Dozier might have another extra base hit. He'll round first, head to second, and he's in with yet another extra base hit. He's on a pace to set the team record for extra base hits in a season, and he already has a home run and double today.
Yeah, 13 home runs, 3 triples, and here is his 20th double of the season. Hitting that ball sharply past Gallo at third, right down that left field line.
Gallo made a nice play on Buxton's ball, but he couldn't reach that one. Dozier at second for Rosario. A little delay here for Rosario. I'm not. Paul Molitor is coming out. There's maybe an equipment issue or something with Rosario. He's a little tardy in getting to the batter's box. Well, we hope it was an equipment issue.
Well, you know what? I do like this, the way that baseball has sped up the game. Sometimes we kind of forget that. You know, pitchers on the mound right now. Martinez ready to go, and you know you want to be on the on-deck circle and be ready. But you know something happened there. Rosario maybe changed bats at the last second. Who knows? But he's up there, and the Twins need a hit.
And he takes low, ball 1. Saying before that this could very well be a year of transition for the Twins and hopefully contention as well. But I mean, Rosario started the year at AAA. Now he's here, showing no signs of going back. Buxton's here. For that matter, Aaron Hicks started in the minor leagues, and he is here on the disabled list, put there today to make room for Byron Buxton. Some of these guys that we've heard of and heard the great things about, like Rosario and Buxton, have transitioned to the big league club, and we've got over 100 games left. Rosario lifts it to left field and fairly deep. Dozier setting up for a possible tag, and he only comes about a third of the way. 2 down. And that'll bring up Joe Mauer in an RBI spot. Soup.com trivia. Which Twins player had the most hits during his rookie season? Well, you would think of the Rookie of the Year hitters, and you would think of the likes of Carew and Oliva, Castino,
Chuck Knobloch,
Marty Cordova. Those are the 5. And I would guess it would be Tony. Statistically, Rod Carew had one of his worst years his rookie year, but he was still the best rookie in the American League.
I'm going to go with Chuck Knobloch.
Really? Okay.
Well, Mauer got a base hit with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. See if he can do that here. Ball getting away from Trillos, but he's able to keep Dozier at second base.
In winning the 1967 Rookie of the Year, Rod Carew hit, quotation marks here, okay, only .292.
Oh, that's terrible.
With 150 hits.
That's all he hit?
Yeah. I'm just saying by his standards.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm kidding.
That he later said.
Yeah, I'm kidding. Geez, the guy's what, a .332 career hitter.
Outside 2-0. A base is open. Plouffe on deck.
So he made up for it then the following years.
Well,
the other 20.
You know, 68 was the pitching year. We talked about that last night. He actually went down to 273 that year. There was only one .300 hitter that year.
What did he win? 7 batting titles?
All in a Twins uniform. And Mauer hasn't gotten anything.
He really stunk his first 2 years, didn't he? I know Rod watches sometimes. That's why
and then,
I got to dig him a little bit.
332 in 1969.
There he comes. Then they're going to go ahead and walk Joe Mauer intentionally when Martinez fell behind.
Turns into an intentional walk to Joe, and now Plouffe will hit with 2 men aboard.
Second walk for Martinez. This, like you mentioned, an intentional walk. Now see if Trevor Plouffe can get his base hit right here. Walked in the 1st inning, scored, and then struck out to end the 3rd inning. Took a fastball down and away, a pitcher's pitch that Martinez, that was his last strikeout. He has 4 in 4 2/3 innings.
Fox Tracks presented by Ram. Plouffe takes inside a ball. Plouffe walked and scored in the 1st, called out on strikes in the 3rd. A high fly to left field. Going back is DeShields. On the track, he makes the catch. 2 left aboard. We're still tied at 2.
Twin fans, don't forget at Twin home games, bring your Circle Me signs. And if you get circled, you may find yourself in the Minnesota Lottery's winner circle, where you could win $100 worth of lottery scratch-off tickets, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery.
And Twins fans who are here get a chance to see Byron Buxton's Major League debut. Nothing notable about it so far, other than the fact it is his debut. Alberto will hit here leading off the fifth, and he takes strike one. I've got a friend who loves baseball, absolutely loves baseball, has a passion for the Minnesota Twins, and what he wanted to be able to say is that he saw Byron Buxton in the minor leagues before he came to the big leagues. So Buxton on Wednesday will make his major league debut in Minnesota at Target Field, his Target Field debut Wednesday night, and my friend will be in Chattanooga.
So he was looking forward to seeing him in Chattanooga.
He wanted to say, I saw this guy in Chattanooga.
He's going to have to reroute his vacation.
Inside, and now 3-1. Alberto DeShields and Chu in the Texas fifth inning. He gave up a couple of home runs in the second.
Yeah, he needed the fourth inning where he only threw 8 pitches. So Phil right now at 67 pitches. Not a good strike to ball ratio for Phil Hughes, 38-29.
Now 3-2.
Phil with 1 strikeout in a ball game, 1 walk.
Foul back.
Alberto just 22 years old, out of the Dominican Republic, signed by the Rangers in 2009. Started the season in the minor leagues, called up on May 28th. Hit over 300 in AAA Round Rock.
To the gap, slicing away from Buxton. Alberto has his second hit. This one an extra base hit. And it's a stand-up double to start the fifth.
Alberto picking up his second hit, singled in the second inning. Right here, splitting the gap in right center. So we saw Shane Robinson split the gap in left center, and Roberto on a 3-2 fastball away just goes with it. His second double.
Buxton reached for it. Rosario got there first, and then Buxton ducked out of the way. See what DeShields is asked to do here. Ploufe's already in on the grass at third. DeShields 0 for 2, a comebacker to the mound, and then he was called out on strikes.
And he squares and lays down a perfect bunt.
Nobody at first base. And it's a bunt single, first and third.
Can't really let that happen. You got to come in a little bit further. I don't know, Trevor Plouffe, how far in he was, but as soon as he squared around right here, you see Plouffe a little late getting there, and that allowed DeShields to beat out that bunt. As soon as you see him move that bat, you've got to come hustling in, and Trevor was kind of on his heels a little bit.
Some of that, I mean, you've got to have a relationship and a plan in place with the pitcher, right? Somebody's got to, depending on where the bunt is, you want to be able to maybe get the runner heading from second to third. Here's Chu.
Yeah, I don't know what play was on, but you know, if it was just infield charging, Plouffe got to be a little bit quicker there, and I think he knows it.
Need to get an out.
Right. They're giving an out. Twins were unable to get it. Now you have the speedy DeShields at first base. So you have to keep an eye on him. He has a great lead at first. 13 stolen bases in 15 attempts.
Fouled back, 2 strikes. Hughes has just the 1 strikeout. It was DeShields in the second inning. Hughes on the year, 49 strikeouts in 80 2/3 innings. Step off, and DeShields doesn't even flinch.
Yeah, DeShields in 5 minor league seasons, just like his pops. DeShields Lionel DeShields Sr., 241 minor league stolen bases, so this guy could fly.
Half swing, did he go? Strike 3. Chu strikes out. Second strikeout of the game. This one in a big spot, one away.
Huge strikeout right here for Phil Hughes. Going that little cutter inside, down and in. And Chu taking it on the outer half of the plate for strike 3.
That cutter has gotten both strikeouts. It got DeShields in the second inning from the right side. And now Fielder, and the Twins are hoping he'll hit a ground ball at somebody, all the while keeping an eye on DeShields. They want to keep the double play in order here.
Hector Ortiz, a first base coach, talking to DeShields. You wonder if they want him just to kind of leave that hole open for Fielder between Mauer and Dozier. Mauer has to hold on to DeShields, of course. But the hits we have seen Fielder get in the series have been up the middle, and then he's hit fly balls the other way. 75 pitches for Hughes, 45 strikes.
Dozier picks up, has a hard time getting the ball out of his glove. It was a tailor-made double play grounder once Dozier caught the ball, but he couldn't squeeze the trigger on the throw.
Yeah, couldn't get that.
They're going to call him out for running out of the baseline. They're calling a double play. The inning is over. No run will score.
Is it the way that DeShields went at Escobar at second base?
It must be. This is not a reviewable play at all because it is in front of the umpires. But the Twins get a break here because the double play is ruled, even though Dozier had a hard time getting rid of the baseball.
Right here, looked like he had trouble getting the ball out of his glove, decides to go to first base, but you can see DeShields sliding past the bag. But I don't know if he was out of the baseline when he slid into second. Take a look right here. He may have. He went on the outfield side. But I thought the ruling was as long as you're able to keep the hand near the bag, that's not a call.
No, they've not changed the scoreboard here. They're saying it's 2-2.
The umpire called the double play. Hunter Wendelstedt at second base.
Nunez takes inside.
Well, it's a break for the Twins, whatever happens there.
Just to get the 2 outs recorded, but particularly if the run doesn't count. Nunez takes a strike.
Well, that's, I guess, why we do the games. You see something you've never seen before.
With no argument at all from the Texas dugout.
No.
And now in the dirt. Now, I think what we saw was DeShields over sliding the second base bag.
Which you're allowed to do. It's a matter of, was he trying to take out Escobar, and Hunter Wendelstedt thought it was a dirty play. I don't know.
Chip down the right field line. And Chu will not make the play, and it runs to the corner. Nunez loses his helmet as he goes to second.
What's new?
Go to third.
Yeah, he definitely needs a strap.
All three Texas outfielders have go for a ball and come up just inches short of making a diving catch in this game.
Now, the ball just flared down the right field line. Chu had to go a long way to get it. He'd go for it, but unable to catch it. So a triple for Nunez. He picks up his second hit. He had an RBI double in the first. Watch Chu come hustling in. And it looks like he's going to catch it just out of his reach and then gets behind him.
Well, in an update with the infield in, they now have changed the scoreboard here. The Rangers are given credit for the third run, which is what we thought happened all along, but the double play was called. And now Suzuki takes inside, ball one. So count the run that Alberto scored in the fifth inning when he crossed the plate. And now Nunez at third with nobody out and the infield drawn in. Suzuki with a strikeout and a fly to center. Popped up. One away. Marinos with an easy catch on the short pop-up in foul territory, and now Shane Robinson.
So does Prince Fielder get an RBI on that? He does.
Because it was not a forced double play. The runner called out for the aggressive slide, but it was not a forced play, so the run comes in, and on the basis of that, Fielder gets a run batted in.
Yeah, his 44th of the year.
And now the infield in, and Robinson will try to tie the game. Fly to center and a triple.
Yeah, he got a fastball middle in and split that gap out in the left center.
Down and away, ball one. Twins have scored only in the first inning, but they've had a man in scoring position in innings 4, 5, and 6. Inside 2-0. To left field. Chased by DeShields, and that ball is over his head. Nunez will trot home. Robinson will try for another triple. The third triple of the game for the Twins, and Robinson has 2 of them.
And he picks up a big RBI that ties the game as the 11th run batted in. Well, you mentioned earlier in the ballgame all this room out in the outfield here, and boy, both clubs have been utilizing the gaps.
Shields a little slow in getting up, and he looks to be hurt in left center field. It's the 4th diving attempt. Oh boy, DeShields grabbing the back of his left leg.
Ooh, the hamstring, maybe. Yeah, walking very gingerly.
Yeah, the 4th diving attempt by a Ranger outfielder in this game, and they're 0 for 4.
Well, almost the same pitch that he hit for the triple in the 4th inning. Almost in the same spot. DeShields banging into the wall and then grabbing the back of his leg.
Everything seemed fine until he made his Tried to turn and collided with the wall.
Yeah, tried to stop right there.
Yeah, he was grimacing before he hit the wall. He had the presence of mind to flip it to Martin, and if not for that, Robinson might have had an extra base.
Yeah, the way he's walking, that's hamstring.
Shields is going to have to come out. And the Rangers are sending out to left field Jake Smolinski.
Well, you don't like to see anybody get hurt. Good effort by DeShields, but comes out limping.
Well, the Twins have tied it up. They have the go-ahead run at third, only one out. And the next two batters are Escobar and Buxton.
Well, you hope it's only a cramp, too.
Let's go back to the play. The hard smash with Dozier making the catch on the first hop, and Mauer throwing back to second base, and that's where the out was recorded. Okay. It had nothing to do with the slide other than the fact that DeShields overslid the bag and was tagged out.
To be honest with you, I did not see Joe Mauer throw the ball to Escobar.
I didn't either. By the time he caught the ball, I shifted my eyes down toward home plate. And so that's how that all happened. I'm glad we were able to show that. A brief lead for the Rangers. Now the Twins have tied it up, and Escobar with the infield drawn in again. Foul back, one strike. So far in this game, the Twins have a home run, 2 doubles, and 3 triples. 7 hits, 1 single.
And 1 single, yeah. Don't forget the single. See if Escobar can drive in a Robinson right here. Looking for his first hit.
Missed inside, 1-1. And just 1 for 6 with men in scoring position, and the 1 in the last at bat, Robinson's triple. And now Robinson is picked off at third.
I don't know if a squeeze was on, a bunt play. Somebody missed a sign right there, because Robertson ended up taking off toward home plate. You see right here, maybe a safety squeeze.
And Escobar missed the sign. That's
somebody. Well, you know it wasn't Robinson, because Gene Glenn's going to tell him what's on.
So base is empty and 2 out. 2-1 to Escobar. And now 2-2. A drive to right center field. Deep, and it one-hops the wall. Escobar with another extra base hit, and he wants 1 more. It's the 3rd triple of the inning. And a guy who hit 12 triples in Double-A is going to bat next.
Second triple of the season for Escobar. A high fastball right there by Martinez, and Escobar trying to get it into that channel, just comes up a bit short. But it's his decision right here. And he slides in safely into third.
Maddox to the mound. Buxton, the batter, struck out on 4 pitches in his first major league at bat. And then he hit a 1-hop smash to the backhand side of Joey Gallo. Gallo made the play. And situations like this are where Buxton's speed could really be a weapon. We saw him just absolutely crush a ball to the backhand side of the third baseman, who picked the ball up, threw across the diamond. It was still a close play. So that has to play in the minds of the Ranger infielders here, that if the ball touches the ground 2-3 times, there's no margin for error. You got to hurry your throw. Let's see what Buxton can get done here. His first time up with a man on base, and he takes strike one. Eight hits for the Twins, 7 extra base hits. And Buxton takes strike two.
A lot of breaking balls. Struck out on a curveball in his first at-bat, first major league at-bat. Then hit a breaking ball down to Gallo. The Gallo had to short hop and throw him out at first. It looked like 2 straight breaking balls for Martinez in this at-bat.
0-2. Checked his swing on a pitch in the dirt. Chirinos blocked it. 1-2. Escobar at third base, helmet off, and he's still shaking his head over the probability that he missed a squeeze sign before he hit his triple. 1-2. Needs to be a throw, and that ends the inning. Don't know if I've ever seen this before. 3 triples in the inning, but just 1 run. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by McDonald's. Try the new 100% sirloin third-pound burgers, starting at $4.99 at McDonald's. Tied at 3. Pepsi fans of the game enjoying a lot of extra base hits in this game, particularly from the Twins, 7 of them. And Mitch Moreland takes strike one. It'll be Moreland, Gallo, and Andrus here in the Texas 6th.
Yeah, the Rangers themselves, they have 2 home runs. They have a couple doubles, 3 singles.
And fouled back. Hughes could use another clean inning. It was an odd 5th and an odd way to give up the go-ahead run, but the Twins have tied it up in the top of the 6th. White Sox lost today 2-1. They were swept by the Tampa Bay Rays. The Detroit Tigers are leading 5-0 after the game with the Indians has been resumed now in Detroit. Royals Cardinals game has been postponed because of rain, and we're going to St. Louis, where we're expecting off and on rain in the 2 days that we're there. One and two to Mitch Moreland, been stinging the ball regularly in this series. Swings and misses there, one away.
And for Hughes, his third strikeout. High fastball right there by Phil Hughes. And Moreland swings through it.
One down. Here's Gallo. Hit a home run to right center and then hit a sinking line drive that Dozier was able to spear and turn into a double play. Strike one. Twins with 4 triples today. Last time they did that was June 2nd of 1964. This to right, and Rosario doesn't have to move. 2 down. The Rangers have been hitting the ball hard against Hughes. Some of the outs have been hit very hard as well. 2 down, and that'll bring up Andres. Andres with a bouncer to third, and then he tried to bunt his way aboard, and Hughes threw him out. Former Texas manager Ron Washington is now an infield instructor with the Oakland A's. And Ron was given a lot of credit for helping Andres tighten up his game in the field. And now that's what Washington is being asked to do with the A's with Marcus Semien, who a few moments ago just committed his 21st error at short.
Hit it to short when we play Oakland.
And Andres dumps one into right field, a 2-out single.
Kind of an inside-out swing. Andres picking up his first hit.
And before Martin hits, tonight on Fox Sports Live, you get all the news from the world of sports, including highlights of a full day at the Women's World Cup, who will gain the edge in Game 5 of the NBA Finals, and the Blackhawks now just a win away from the Stanley Cup. Reaction from Chicago. Fox Sports Live tonight on Fox Sports 1. Streaming live on Fox Sports Go. I don't want to talk about hockey too much with Phil Hughes in the room. He's a devout Tampa Bay Lightning fan. And of course the Blackhawks won a 2-1 game last night, lead that series 3-2. The affection for the Lightning goes back to Hughes' days in spring training at Yankee camp in Tampa. I asked him yesterday, I said, did you skate as a kid? Did you have any background in hockey? Dozier can't knock it down. Andres will round second and hold there, and a pair of 2-out hits. And the Rangers have something started here with 2 gone in the 6th.
Good job by Rosario right there in right field, charging that ball. That ball hit sharply, but that does keep the speedy Andres at second base. So Martin picking up his second hit. Dozier diving for it. It gets by him, but see how quick Rosario got that ball back in the infield.
9 hits now for the Rangers. First and second, 2 down, and Chirinos, the batter. He was trying to wrap things up here in the 6th. Pitch number 88 coming. To right center. Buxton has a long run, and he makes the catch to end the inning. And the Rangers leave 2 on in the 6th, heading to the 7th in a tie game with Brian Dozier set to lead off.
what's nice about that play, the Twins got out of the inning, but we didn't see the throw from Mauer to Escobar, and the crew next to us, Steve Busby and Tom Grieve, they didn't see it either. So Mauer pulled a little trick right there.
Brian Dozier will lead off the 7th against Nick Martinez. Twins with 3 runs, and their slugging percentage has improved today. 7 of the 8 hits have gone for extra bases. Dozier has 2 extra base hits, a home run, and a double. And he takes strike 1. It will be Dozier, Rosario, and Mauer. Dozier started the game with a home run. His team leading 13th. Swing and a miss, 2 strikes. He's also made a great defensive play, and the weird play where the Rangers got their run. One of the few plays where Brian had a hard time, it appeared, handling, getting a grip on the baseball to deliver a throw. That's up the middle. Alberto has it and fires, and did Moreland keep his foot on the bag? Yes, 1 away.
Yeah, nice quick release by Alberto as he was shading Brian Dozier up the middle.
Moreland, a left-handed first baseman, and he needed to be left-handed to keep a foot on the bag and stretch out with the gloved hand to make the catch. 1 down, and now Rosario. Rosario 0 for 3. Ground ball, strikeout, and a fly ball. Down low, ball 1. One's hoping to get a run here, maybe give Phil Hughes a lead, maybe the win. Casey Fiend warming up. Up high, 2-0. Twins have been retired 1, 2, 3 only once. That was in the 2nd inning. In the outside corner, 2-1.
Yeah, the Rangers playing better baseball. I mentioned early on 9 straight quality starts for the starters for the Rangers. And over the 9 games prior to here today, a 1.58 combined earned run average.
Chop to second, easy play for Alberto. 2 down. What we've seen in this June slump that the Twins have fallen into, some games like this that are close going into the late innings, and then typically what happens in a tie game or a close game, the team that makes the mistakes in the final 3 innings is the losing team. And the Twins, unfortunately, have been that team that has made A, the mistake late in the game, and then B, the losing team. We'll see who makes the mistake here in the final 3 innings. Bauer.
Martinez, I think, has done a good job here tonight. Gave up a couple runs early, but settled down nicely.
Dribbled to the right side. Alberto underhands it. Mauer retired. 3 ground ball outs, and a 1-2-3 top of the 7th. Just the 2nd time this afternoon that Martinez has had a 1-2-3 inning. So it's 3-3, and here from Globe Life Park in Arlington, Texas, on this Sunday afternoon, we will bring you God Bless America.
Symbolized by our flag, and we remember the servicemen and women who are serving our country at home and around the world. Performing God Bless America today is Robert Brigance.
Land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
the ballgame for the 3rd time this year with a home run. His 10th time he's done it in his career. Twins added one more. Eduardo Nunez with an RBI double, but the Rangers came back with a couple in the 2nd inning on a couple solo home runs, one by Gallo, one by Martin. And Nunez, we had 3 triples in the 6th inning. Only 1 run scored. And tied the game at 3 apiece.
Casey Fien in the game out of the Twins bullpen, pitching to Hanser Alberto.
Casey making his 16th relief appearance, his first time in this 3-game series. He last pitched on Tuesday against the Kansas City Royals.
2-0. Alberto, the number 9 batter, and then Smolinski and Chu. Casey misfiring. Talking about the late innings, the last 3 innings of a game, and the Twins have made a lot of mistakes, and sometimes it hasn't been in the field, but on the mound, a walk, a leadoff walk, if it were to happen here. One of the cardinal sins in any inning, but particularly late in a close ball game. There's a strike, 3-1. Casey now won to walk a bunch of people, so he might very well come back and get Alberto here.
Well, he hasn't walked anybody yet this year in 15 2/3 innings.
There's the first one.
This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins.
51 at bats for Alberto, and he just drew his first walk against a guy who hadn't issued one yet. Now Smolinski with Plouffe in on the grass at 3rd. Smolinski entered the game when DeShields left the game with a leg injury. Squaring already, and a throw to first.
Smolinski started the season with the Rangers, optioned out a couple times, and just recalled on June 2nd. 26 years old in his 2nd season with the Rangers.
There's a bunt, foul, 1 strike.
Smolinski 9 minor league seasons with the Nationals, Marlins, and with the Rangers, a .266 minor league hitter.
Tony Beasley talking to Smolinski. DeShields left the game with a left hamstring issue. Precautionary departure from the game. An MRI will be conducted to determine the extent of the injury. One strike to Smolinski. And another foul, 2 strikes.
Well, I tell you what, sometimes we see that from guys that come up or be able to bunt. That was a terrible approach. The barrel of the bat wasn't even in front of home plate.
Under the theme of a late inning mistake, not getting a bunt down in the 7th could be a game changing mistake.
You want to stay at the big league level, you got to do these little things.
And he's gone in 3 pitches, 1 down. And we'll bring up Shin-Soo Choo.
So unable to bunt, he ends up striking out. And that keeps Alberto at first base.
You can watch MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, in true HD, real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, a lot more. Watch at home, in the office, on the go. Visit MLB.TV for details. Up high and away, ball 1.
Now, Phil Hughes worked the first 6 innings. He threw 88 pitches, but sometimes you can throw 88 pitches and feel like you threw 150. And I think that's the way Phil felt today. A lot of innings under duress. I think that's one reason Casey Fien is out here for the 7th.
And a strike called, 1-1. Chu steps out of the box. They didn't care for the call. Not supposed to do that anymore. The compliance with the speed up rules in baseball so complete. I haven't heard of anybody getting fined for taking too much time out of the batter's box. Swinging a foul.
What was it, the first month I thought that they were going to, warn players without fining them, and then they'd fine them. But, we may not get the information of whether a player gets fined or not.
It's supposed to be like a $500 violation. 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Fiend has struck out the veteran Shin-Soo Choo.
So if somebody takes too long, they lose their meal money for a day, huh? 2 straight strikeouts for Casey Fiend. Fastball away. It's almost the same pitch that struck out Choo in the 5th inning when Phil Hughes struck him out with runners at first and third.
Fielder the batter. Dozier starting the at bat in short right field. Strike one. Fielder got credit for a run batted in the 5th. He hit a 1-hop smash to Dozier's glove side. Brian couldn't, it appeared, could not get a grip on the baseball to throw to second base. He got the out at first, and then unbeknownst to most people in the ballpark, including Delino DeShields, Joe Mauer threw to second, and they got the third out of the inning at second base.
Yeah, he did the hidden ball trick somehow.
But because it was not a force play, the run did score. Caught in foul territory. 2 strikes now to Fielder.
Let's take another look right here. The ball hit sharply. Dozier can't get it out. He gets the out at first, and then right there, Joe Mauer kind of looks around and says, okay, I'll throw to Escobar. Well, DeShields, maybe Escobar deked him so well that he thought, because he slid hard, never saw if the throw was at second base or not. So good job by Escobar, deking him. We'll go with that.
Okay. 2 strikes to Fielder. And another ground ball foul. Rangers haven't put a ball in play against Casey Fiend. He walked the leadoff man on 5 pitches, then struck out Smolinski and Choo. Oh, 0-2.
Got to be careful here, Fielder. A lot of power. 5-time All-Star.
Oh, 2. Popped up left side. Bluth calls for it. And ends the inning. Good inning for Casey Fiend. A scoreless 7th, on to the 8th, tied at 3. really struggling. Keone Kela will pitch for the Rangers against the middle of the Twins lineup: Plouffe, Nunez, and Suzuki.
Yeah, Kela making his 30th relief appearance. 23 strikeouts, 7 walks in 26 1/3 innings. He was asked to get 1 out of Aaron Hicks here on Friday night. Able to do that.
Hard on the ground, but right at Andrus. 1 down. And then we'll bring up Nunez. Martinez giving the Rangers their 10th straight quality start. Unbelievable.
Well, with Houston struggling like they have, and Texas, playing pretty good baseball, they're come in game and a half behind the Astros.
Nunez with a double and a triple. Nearly hit a home run late in the ball game yesterday. Ball 1.
Yeah, Kela with an overpowering fastball. That last one at 95. Hard curveball and a changeup in his rookie season. Made the club out of spring training. Didn't play AAA ball. Came up from AA where he was last year.
Popped up behind the plate and out of play. Talking about the late inning mistakes, we saw it in Boston too in the final game of that series. The Red Sox giving up 4 runs in the top of the 9th inning, and they made some mistakes late. And the Twins are hoping that the missed sacrifice in the bottom of the 7th inning might be a big enough mistake to cost the Rangers a ball game. Nunez waves at strike 2.
Breaking ball right there. Kela only 22 years old. He pitched a total of 99 innings in the minor leagues in 3 seasons, mainly out of the bullpen. Picked up some saves in the minor leagues.
Fouled back. Another breaking ball. Nunez is.
He's a battler.
Well, but he's provided a really good role for the Twins too. I mean, he's hit pretty well. He's hitting over 300, and half his hits for extra bases.
Well, the guy that can play a lot of different positions.
The necessity was at shortstop yesterday. The designated hitter today. Kenny Vargas has been scuffling. And he got a piece of that off-speed pitch.
Nunez, of course, coming from the Yankee organization, where he spent 4 seasons, from the Dominican Republic. Traded over in April of 2014, last year, to the Twins.
Pitch off the plate, swings and misses, 2 down.
Overpowering 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Join us for Aloha Night this year. Special offer includes a ticket for Thursday, July 9th. The Twins take on the Tigers, plus a limited edition Kurt Suzuki Hawaiian t-shirt. Portion of the proceeds will benefit All Pono, a youth program in Suzuki's native Hawaii. Special offer available exclusively by logging on to twinsbaseball.com/aloha. I had a chance to talk with Kurt today about the All Pono, the charity. It's set up, inspired by his high school coach. And in Hawaiian, All Pono means do the right thing.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. So many players give back. That's great to see.
I wonder if, trying to figure how you'd look in one of those Hawaiian shirts.
Probably cool.
Yeah. 0-2 to Suzuki.
How do they do that with their pinky and their thumb.
Don't even try.
Yeah.
Don't even try.
Peace.
0-2 to Suzuki.
Now, you said you've never been to Hawaii.
Never have.
Well, you got to talk to Kurt right there. He could probably set it up.
Stay with him?
Well, maybe not stay, but he can show you the spots to go.
That's the fun. We did that all the time growing up. We'd stay with friends and relatives wherever we went on vacation.
That. No way.
Oh, come on.
There's no
He's probably
way
got a nice house out there.
I'm sure he does. You're just not invited.
2 strikes. Old foul. Got like 6, 7 bedrooms. Doesn't going to need them all.
He's got a big family out there. No, I have been a couple times. It's beautiful. Trying to convince my wife Gail to go back, but she said we're in Florida. We're already in Hawaii.
Well, I mean, climate-wise, and probably similar.
During the winter time, that's kind of when we could go.
1-2 to Suzuki.
We have palm trees. They have palm trees.
So I hear. Yeah, I've seen pictures.
We have water. They have water. They have surfboards. I don't have one.
That is a
safe
foul
air
ball.
Oh, boy. Gosh darn it.
Suzuki got the barrel of the bat on it. And of course, he's really been struggling to get hits. He nearly got an extra base hit
Yeah, he
there.
needed this right here. 0 for his last 20 and pulling this ball right down that third base line. But Bob Davidson, the 27-year vet at third, said it was foul. There he is.
1-2 again to Suzuki. Headed up the middle.
There you go.
And eventually, what did Kurt Suzuki do? He all ponoed. He did the right thing,
He
right?
did the right thing. He got on. He ended that little streak that he was on. So good for Kurt. Hopefully this gets him going. Sometimes, you know, it just gets a hitter going. You need something good to happen. And Suzuki with that base hit.
A 2-out single, and that'll get Shane Robinson to the plate.
Good day at the plate for Shane. Couple triples. He drove in a run in the 6th inning, the tying run.
And that to the backstop. That hit 4 feet in front of the plate, and it's all chewed up there. And that just took a wicked hop over Chirinos over his left shoulder. A wild pitch advancing Suzuki to second.
Kella just throwing this ball about 5 feet, 6 feet in front of the plate. And it hit something and got past the catcher quickly. For Kella, that's his 3rd wild pitch of the year. And it gets Suzuki in the scoring position.
And Robinson, who has 2 extra base hits, might not need to get an extra base hit to put the Twins in front here in the 8th. Over for a strike. He's just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Popped up, and a foul ball that'll reach the seats.
As the Twins go to St. Louis after this ball game, Shane Robinson will be going to the organization that originally signed him back in 2006 out of Florida State. It's up with the Cardinals 5 different seasons. I said to him, I said, "Well, you're going to be going home, you know, back to your Cardinals." And he said, "No, home's in Georgia."
Yeah.
Okay.
Foul ball. The at-bat's still alive. Well, it's not very often that you remember something that happened in a spring training game, but I'll never forget when we did the Twins game in Jupiter, Florida, where the Cardinals trained, and Robinson made the trip, was in the starting lineup, and when he was announced for the first time, the Cardinal fans in Jupiter, Florida gave him a standing ovation. Now that, again, it was a spring training game, but that was a very special moment for Shane.
They are good baseball fans. There's good baseball fans all over, but those Cardinals, boy, they support their ball club.
2-2.
And their players, current or recent players.
And now 3-2, Escobar on deck. And trying to put something together here with 2 outs in the 8th. At an early 2-0 lead in the first inning. Rangers tied it in the 2nd. Then the Rangers took the lead in the 5th. Twins tied it in the 6th. Off-speed pitch out in front, a strikeout, stranding. Suzuki at second. We're still tied at 3. Moreland, Joey Gallo, Elvis Andrus, the batters, middle of the Texas lineup.
Yeah, Casey Fiend in his 2nd inning of relief. 16 pitches in that first inning, 11 for strikes.
Walked the leadoff man in the 7th, but then got the next 3 batters. They faced Moreland, Gallo, and Andrus. Falling behind Moreland 1-0. Next swing ball 2. Thomason warming up in the Ranger bullpen. He may pitch the 9th whether the Rangers get the lead or not. There's a fastball stuck on the outside corner. Moreland, pretty good fielding first baseman, and he has planted Fielder over there. Fielder played some over there, didn't fare particularly well, and just told the Rangers, look, Moreland's better than I am, play him over there. Which is Well, and it's kind of refreshing, and when a player understands that there's somebody better at the position on his team, just go ahead and don't hurt my feelings. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Just go ahead and make the change.
Moreland did spend a couple of weeks on a disabled list with the left elbow surgery. Had a bone chip removed back in late April.
2-2.
Suzuki sitting away.
And foul back.
Yeah, Casey Fien, he's been so consistent over the last couple of years. 73 relief appearances both seasons in 13 and 14. Was derailed a little bit in late April when that shoulder flared up, put on a disabled list, and then missed almost a month, activated on May 29th. Such a big part of that Twins' success in the bullpen.
Driven hard, but foul.
Lane Boyer has been such a good find for the Twins as a setup man, so that kind of pushes Casey back until something else happens. But right now, Casey Fien one time this year has pitched 2 innings, and that was in April in Seattle. 2 shutout innings and an extra inning win for the Twins when they beat the Mariners 4-2 in 11 innings.
Popped up left field. Robinson's out there. One down. And that'll bring up Gallo. Don't know whether Gallo had any input into his number that he is wearing, number 13. If he wanted it, it's certainly not because he's superstitious. Fox Tracks presented by Carrier.
Yeah, a lot of players, when you come up from the minor leagues, you may request a number, but normally they give you a number. They may offer you certain numbers, and then you get to pick one.
That's kind of what happened with Buxton in number 25. Obviously, number 7, the number he'd worn in the minor leagues, taken by Joe Mauer. And so when it was announced that Buxton was coming here to the big leagues, swing and a miss, 1-2.
That's kind of a number 7.
Yeah, 2 and 5 is 7, and that was one of the factors.
That's Minnesota math.
And Buxton said all the right things. He said, "Look, I don't care. I just want a big league uniform."
Well, in spring training, he was number 70. So had the 7 in there.
Just off the plate, 2-2.
But players aren't superstitious. So.
Rod McCormick, the Twins clubhouse director, manager, signed number 25. The team carries blank jerseys with them on the road. So overnight, Twins had a Buxton 25 jersey made up. And so Buxton gets to the clubhouse today, and he's unzipping his duffel bag, and he's got this to do and that to do, and get ready for his major league debut. And
they spelled his name right.
They did.
That's good.
Aaron Thompson comes up to him and says, "Hey, I just want you to know that if you want to buy number 64, I'll sell it to you real cheap."
Only Aaron. That's great.
2-2. Lifted foul and out of play. Now, you wore principally in your career 28, right?
Yeah, every place I went, I'm just available. The only place I didn't have 28 was in Pittsburgh because Bill Robinson had number 28. And he had been there a long time. And I could not negotiate with him. I did offer him a house.
Really?
To buy him a house, yeah. But he didn't take it. And a Mercedes in the garage.
2-2.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I've worked with you now for 21 years. That seems so unlike you.
Doesn't it, though?
3-2.
No, the late Bill Robinson, what a great guy. And his wife, Mary, had jewelry with 28, and I didn't want any part of that.
Fien strikes out Gallo. He's retired 5 in a row.
Yeah, 3rd strikeout for Casey Fien. Casey has that little cutter. Got a good fastball. That's a good fastball inside. About thigh high. But inside.
Andrus dumped a single to right his last time up. 1 for 3. Of course, it was Andrus who hit the big game-tying home run against Tommy Malone here on Friday night. Inside, ducked out of the way, ball one.
That's the pitch that Casey's been working on, just a breaking ball, just other than his cutter and then a fastball, trying to get a little slower breaking ball over, and he just missed. Just want to get strike one.
Squirted to the right side. The bounces take the spin out of it. Dozier makes the play. Fiend has retired 6 in a row, and we head to the ninth, tied at 3. ...162 games in 183 days, over 1,400 innings played. You don't remember every pitch, every out, or even every hit. In baseball, you don't even remember games. You remember moments. Today in Texas, Twins fans are ready for this moment to become an everlasting memory. And Byron Buxton will bat second in the ninth inning, looking for his first hit. He has struck out twice, hit the ball hard once, grounding out. And it'll be Escobar, Buxton, and Dozier in the ninth.
And it'll be Shane Tollinson on the mound, the closer for the Rangers right now, making his 28th relief appearance. A local kid born in Dallas, signed originally by the Dodgers out of Baylor University from Waco, Texas.
Escobar threatening to bunt. A little irony there. Last time he was up, Shane Robinson was the third at 1 out, and it sure looked like Escobar missed a bunt sign. Robinson was picked off, then Escobar hit the third triple in the inning. Here's a ball hit to left center field. Smolinski going back. He won't get there. It'll be an extra base hit for Escobar to start the ninth inning.
And another extra base hit for the Twins. Escobar with his second. He tripled in the 6th inning.
And now with Escobar at second, the number 9 hitter, who happens to be Byron Buxton, getting signs from Gene Glenn.
Fastball away, and Escobar taking it the other way. Over the head of Smolinski.
And we'll see what the call is here when asked today about Buxton's bunting ability. Paul Molitor said, well, the way he hits, he hasn't been asked to sacrifice bunt much. Nevertheless, the Rangers have the corner infielders in here.
Yeah, Rangers are looking for the possible bunt.
Squaring. And a bunt back to the mound. They're going to try for third base. He is out. And it may be challenged. That's a risky play because it's not a forced play, and I think this call is going to be challenged.
And he's going to wait to hear to see Gallo put a quick tag on Escobar. the heads-up play by Collinson jumping off that mound. Buxton bunting that ball a little bit too hard. Collinson spins and throws a quick P over to Gallo.
And the Twins won't challenge it. An unsuccessful sacrifice by Buxton and a heck of a tag by Joey Gallo. Yep. So now Buxton might be asked to steal a base with Dozier at the plate.
Yeah, Double-A stole 20 bases in 22 attempts.
Neither team able to get a sacrifice bunt down in the late innings. Here's Dozier. Conservative lead by Buxton. And a pitch outside, ball one.
Buxton in the minor leagues, 92 stolen bases in 4 seasons, 26 caught steals.
Down low 2-0.
Collinson pretty quick home with that slide step.
Gene Glynn giving signs. Two and 0 to Dozier. 3-0 with Rosario on deck.
This is sometimes, you know, when you're told, hey, this guy can really fly, he can steal a lot of bases. As a pitcher, you're trying to hurry up a little bit, and all of a sudden you fall behind on the hitter. You're trying to get the hitter out.
And a strike taken, 3-1.
Collinson, fastball slider type pitcher. Maybe a little hit and run put on by Molitor here.
Buxton back to the bag. First time they've thrown over there.
Collinson's only walked 4 in 28 1/3 innings coming into this outing, so he's going to be around the plate. That's what I think the Rangers are thinking too. Jeff Bannister. Couple throwovers. There's his Double-A steals.
There he goes, and the pitch fouled back. Buxton breaking from first, and it'll be 3-2 now to Dozier.
And he's going to be taken off here. 3-2. Got a good jump. One of these, you know, athletes that can be at full stride within a couple steps.
Asked Byron in spring training what he worked on during the off season, and he specifically mentioned trying to get a more explosive first step, which was pretty explosive already last year. And back to the bag again, 20 for 22 in stolen bases with Double-A.
And you know he's going to take off here. Hopefully, maybe Bryant can get one of his another extra base hit. He's already hit a home run and a double, leading the American League in extra base hits.
Buxton goes. It's fouled to the screen.
You know, so much on Buxton today as a player, Dick. I remember when Eddie Bain came up with the Twins back in 1973. We didn't have the media attention in the 70s like they have today, but I thought it was against Texas, but it was against the Kansas City Royals. I was on July 4th, 1973, just out of Arizona State. He signed with the Twins. 45,890 people showed up that day, and Twins ended up losing 5-4, but Bain pitched 7 very good innings, only gave up 1 run on 3 hits. That was, I think, you know, the hype back then when Eddie Bain came up. Number 1 pick by the Twins.
Full count to Dozier. Buxton goes, and the pitch popped up. He's got to reverse field and get back to first. Andrus with the catch, 2 away.
Yeah, Tollinson took something off that pitch right there, and Brian got underneath it and popped it straight up.
Twins, who somehow got 3 triples in the 6th, but only scored 1 run, now are in danger of squandering a leadoff double here in the 9th. Buxton at first, 2 down, and Rosario will bat, looking for his first hit. Rosario's strong points is he very rarely has had an over. You know, he hasn't had many hitless games. Right. So we'll see what he can get done in his 5th plate appearance.
I wonder if Buxton has seen Tollinson a little bit, how quick he is home. He may try to get into scoring position with 2 outs.
Well, a bit of a cliche, I suppose, but as fast as Buxton is, I'm not so sure he's not in scoring position right where he is. We've seen a couple times this year runners scoring from first on singles. 1-0 to Rosario.
The outfield playing very, very deep. No extra base hits.
2-0. Seems like Tollison's thrown more than 12 pitches, but it is just 12 pitches and only 6 strikes.
No doubles defense right there by the Rangers. Well, 12 crit pitches toward home plate, about 6 over to Moreland.
Right.
Butch Davis helping Buxton read the signs from Gene Glenn. Butch Davis, the first base coach.
A drive to right center field. Deep to the gap. Buxton flying around the bases. The ball stays in the park, and Buxton will score on a double. The Twins got a break when the double hit the top of the fence on the first bounce. And the go-ahead run produced by Buxton and Rosario.
Well, Rosario, you said he rarely has an offer, and he got a pitch up and found that gap. Another extra base hit for the Twins. Rosario driving in his 15th run on his 5th double. The ball had a lot of hang time, and luckily it did. It hit off the fence, and that allowed Buxton to score the go-ahead run.
It was my first time, and Twins fans will be challenged with this when they come to Target Field and watch this man play. You see a ball hit like that, and your attention is diverted. You want to watch the ball, but you want to watch the guy running the bases too. I bet you I switched focus 7 times between the runner and the ball, and now here comes Mike Maddox out to the mound.
You know, he's 6'2", so he's got some long strides. He's like a deer when he's, starts his path toward the next base.
We noticed it on Chirinos's fly ball in the 6th inning. That ball looked like it was headed for the gap, and you follow the flight of the ball, and then you look, and Buxton was already there.
Yeah, quick trip to the mound by the pitching coach, Mike Maddox.
Sam Freeman warming up, but he won't come in for the Mauer at bat here. Twins enjoying their first lead since the 2nd inning. Bauer takes down and away. Well, now Mauer will be walked, and that'll bring Plouffe to the plate with 2 men aboard. Second intentional walk for Mauer on the day. He's reached 3 times today. We talked about the potential for this being a contending year for the Twins, but also the potential for it to be a transitional year for the Twins. Rosario and Buxton, 2 guys who weren't with the club a month ago. Get the Twins in front. Our Carsoup.com trivia question. It had to be Tony Oliva, didn't it? 217.
Wow.
In 1964.
Nice going, T.O.
Tony edged out by Brooks Robinson for the MVP award that year. Tony had to settle for the Rookie of the Year award in the batting championship. Here's Plouffe. Chance to give the Twins some breathing room here in the ninth. Up high, ball one. Plouffe 0 for 3 with a walk. His walk a significant one because it took a while to coax the walk, and then he scored with 2 outs on Nunez's double in the next plate appearance. Down low, 2-0. I got a call here, partner.
You got a call? Well, Trevor with 9 home runs, only 1 hit on the road so far. That was in Pittsburgh. I like the call.
Three and 0, Nunez on deck. Allison really struggling with his control. 20 pitches and only 7 strikes. And 2 of those hit crisply for doubles. See if he's green lighted on 3 and 0. Pop up short left.
And he was, but it was a breaking ball. And he popped it up.
Twins get an RBI double from Eddie Rosario. I'm not sure Byron Buxton's feet touched ground, but he came around first to score the go-ahead run. Glenn Perkins tied with Trevor Rosenthal, the Cardinals, for the major league lead in saves right now. And unfortunately, with the losing streak and the way the Twins have played in June, he's pretty well rested.
Yeah, I mean, the last time he was on the mound when he picked up his 21st save against the Milwaukee Brewers last Sunday. So a week in between outings, that was a 2-0 win over the Brewers.
Bottom third of the Texas lineup, Martin, Chirinos, and Oberto.
And that's always the concern. Perkins, great fastball, but with a week off, I know you throw in the bullpen to try to stay loose, but nothing better than mound time on the big field.
Martin takes a strike. Martin with a home run his first time up since on a flyout and a single. Off the plate, 2-1.
Perkins on a year, 27 innings pitched out of that bullpen, only 4 walks with 24 strikeouts.
Martin just under 200 at bats and 11 walks. Fouled away, 2-2.
4 straight fastballs from Glenn Perkins.
Two and two to Martin. Chopped to the right side. Mauer plays the second hop and gets to the bag, 1 away. And now for what's next, brought to you by CenturyLink. We'll play by National League rules, which means, of course, that Trevor May will grab a bat tomorrow night in St. Louis against Michael Wacha, weather permitting.
Yeah, Wacha having a great year. He's kind of taking over for Adam Wainwright, who was missing in that rotation. And Trevor May is coming off some good outings. Those last 4 have been outstanding.
Chirinos the batter. Fouled back, 1 strike. Alberto in the on-deck circle. The Rangers don't have much of a bench, and that's where the absence of Hamilton and Beltre really come into play. You're asking players who have some experience would be on the bench, but instead they're in the starting lineup. A high fly to left, and Robinson in the corner, out number 2. And now Alberto being called back to the dugout. And Blanks will pinch hit.
Kyle Blanks has some pop off that bench.
Blanks with 62 at bats, 3 home runs, but 62 at bats and 20 punch outs as well.
Banks, 28 years old in his first season with the Rangers. A couple stints with the Rangers, then put on a disabled list. Just activated on June 11th.
Popped up right side. Mauer across the line. And the losing streak is over. And Byron Buxton's major league debut is a winner for the Twins.
Well, you know, Buxton didn't get a hit, but he did score the winning run, and he played very well out in the outfield. So day 1 of Byron Buxton, a success. You know why? Because the Twins won.
And so the Twins, Tom Hanneman, will head to St. Louis with the losing streak behind them, and hopefully the start of a winning streak.